stand, please.
You'll have to see back on the record all counsel present. The jury's outside the court. Okay, well, my intention is under Rule 3.410 to exercise my discretion, have them come back in. We don't have transcripts available. I understand the recording system is now available to play the audio portion of it back, is to have them come in, confirm that they wish to listen to these three witnesses, advise them that we can play the audio portion of the testimony. We don't have transcripts available. I would advise them that we're going to play their each of the witnesses' testimony both on direct and cross-examination, and advise them not to discuss or comment on the testimony as they hear it, as their deliberations are intended to be private. So I'm not sure there's any need to read this instruction under 4.4.
Well, I mean, I think the only point of reading the instruction to them or even sending them that instruction back is they may elect not to do so. They may have just wanted transcripts.
Yep.
And so,
I'll ask them when they come, do they want to hear the audio portion of it? I'll tell them we don't have transcripts. Defense have any other objection?
Nothing recorded.
Okay, we can bring it, please. They're ready to go. Which one are you going Thank you. I'll go ahead and have a seat. Thank you. Ms. Aranda, have you been selected as a foreperson?
Yes, I have.
I got your note. I understand y'all are seeking transcripts of Jerry Pilarski, Albert Kranick, and Clarence Bennett?
Yes.
Okay. We don't have transcripts available. However, if the jury wishes to listen to the audio portion of their testimony, we can play it over the speaker system here. If you all wish to listen to it, we don't have transcripts. Is that y'all's desire to listen to the audio?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It'll take a minute or two to get it prepared, but it'll be played over the loudspeaker. I think we're going to do it in order y'all requested it. Mr. Pilarski, Mr. Kranick, and then Clarence Bennett's testimony. I'm going to have it played for you in its entirety, both on direct and cross-examination. Also, I don't want y'all to discuss anything or comment on any of the testimony out here in court while it's being played for you, as your deliberations are intended to be private. Once their testimony has been provided to you all through the audio system in its entirety, I'll send y'all back into the jury room to continue your deliberations, okay? Okay, so if you'll bear with us, it'll take just a few seconds.
Thank you, sir, for bearing with us. You can come on up through the gate here. Watch your step over those wires. Just come right up here, and this nice lady will place you under oath, sir.
Do you swear or affirm that evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Sir, step right there to your left. Watch stepping in forward, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself to the members of the jury.
I'm Jerry Polarski. I'm a witness on this trial. You can have a seat, sir.
No, have a seat.
Sorry, you can have a seat.
Sorry about that. Go ahead and spell your last name for us.
My last name is spelled P-I-L-A-R-S-K-I.
All right, sir. And where do you live?
Michigan.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
I was in the military and defense all my life.
The jury's already met a young lady named Casey. How are you related to her?
She's my niece.
And where were you in February, on February 28, 2013?
I was in the backyard doing yard work alongside the road.
Okay. I wasn't being that specific, but what state were you in?
Florida.
And you were here in Fort Pierce?
Absolutely.
All right, great. And who else was here with you in Fort Pierce?
Albert Kreingut.
Okay. And how are you related to Albert?
He's my first cousin. His mother and my dad are twins.
And Albert was there with you when you say you were working in the backyard?
Yes.
Who else was staying at the house?
Casey. Tony, my nephew. That was about it.
Okay. And was your wife there?
Yeah, she was in the house.
On that, the house we're talking about, was that on Murrah Drive in Fort Pierce?
Yes.
And you said you were working in the backyard. What was the situation with the backyard there at the house?
Tony just bought the house. And what we were doing was just yard cleanup. The house hasn't been cleaned up, the yard, for about a year or so.
And
So we were cutting grass, raking leaves, picking up twigs, paper, stuff like that.
and the backyard in the house that's on Murrah Drive runs all the way to the street behind it?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you if you could just step down for a second, and we're going to have a take a look at State Aid. You have it. Go ahead and step down, and I'm going to walk around to that other side. Make sure you don't block the view of all the jurors.
Yes.
And I'm going to come back with a blue pen for you.
Okay.
recognize the neighborhood here in this aerial
Yes,
photograph?
this is the trailer court, and this is the woods, this is the house we were in, and this is the backyard. This is the area right here where I was.
Okay. And if I could have you go ahead and actually, the blue or green?
I'm colorblind, so this one's green.
It's bluer than the other one, so we're calling it blue. So if you could please put your push that push pin in where it was that you were working in the yard. Great. And you can step back just a little bit so all the jurors can see. That's fine. And when we're talking about this house here is your
Tony's house.
Tony's house. And this the property runs all the way back to.
That's right. It goes like so, and goes right back to this street right here.
Okay, great. You can return to your seat, please.
All right.
All right, if you could for us, describe for the members of the jury, you already said what kind of yard work you were doing. What stage of that were you in? Had you all completed it? Were you still working? What was going on when something happened?
We just got done cutting the grass. We picked up the lawnmower and we put it in the back of the truck. And we were just walking around, picking up twigs, paper, just odds and ends, people's cigarette butts, styrofoam cups, you know, what people throw out in the back alley, back streets. And we were right at the end of the cleanup. And we were just standing there, really just kind of last looks, ready to leave.
Kind of visiting a little bit?
Yeah, you got it. It was a morning, you know, it wasn't a big area to cut, so it was only like a half an hour, 15 minutes cutting, and that was it.
And as you all were standing there in the lot, did something get your attention?
Oh, absolutely.
What'd you see?
A red car coming down that street very quickly,
And,
coming to a sudden stop.
all right, let me stop you there. The red car, you got your attention because you heard it or because you saw it first?
It was, he kind of heard it, you know, like it was like 2 houses away, and then I saw it just stop right along just past the truck.
And we'll talk about the truck in just a second. So the red car, you see it and hear it coming.
Yes.
What was the street like back there on Naylor Drive?
It was very loose gravel. They're doing maintenance in that area. They're upgrading the roads. I haven't been there this year or last year, but then it was very, very sandy. It was very, very easy to skid, let's say. If you slammed down the brakes, you could go a little ways.
And I think you said that the red car came to a stop.
Absolutely.
All right. When you first saw the red car, did you see any other vehicles?
Not at that second. When the red car stopped, then a police officer with his lights flashing on the grill, his lights were flickering, but he was not making any noise. He didn't have a siren on.
Right, so let me ask you about that. You said lights on the grill and also overhead lights?
Yeah.
Okay, but no siren.
No siren.
All right, and so you were using your hands to describe it. So describe for us what you saw the deputy doing when you saw the police car.
He stopped, and he was trying to put the car in reverse. He was putting the car in reverse, and he was trying to open the door. He was trying to get out of the car. He was trying.
All right, let me stop you there.
Yeah.
All right, so you were describing the car with the lights. What did, you said he stopped. Where did he stop and how did he stop?
He slid past the red car, and he tried to back up the car and get, I think, he tried to back the car up.
Without getting into what you think he was trying to do, what actually happened? I'm getting to it. You came to a stop.
Yeah.
I mean, the police car came to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you had us, that he was, and you were signaling with your hands as if maybe he was turned a little when he stopped.
Yes, he would, because he came to a skid. Because the gravel was loose. He was going that fast. And he was trying to back up. And as he was doing that, that guy got out of the car with a big pistol.
Let me stop you there. I noticed you pointed to someone here in court. Do you see the person now that you saw that day?
Yes.
All right. Could you please point to him again and describe something he's wearing? So we can
He's wearing a suit.
Okay. There's a couple fellows.
He's got a little tan.
Okay. Which,
Little tie.
okay. There's 1, 2, 3 gentlemen sitting at the table. Which one are you talking about?
Second from the end.
Okay. Thank you. And you saw him get out of the car?
Saw him come out of the car.
All right. Now, if you could tell the members of the jury, he got out of the driver's side of the red car?
Yes.
Okay. What did you see him do?
Pulled the pistol up.
Okay.
Walked over to the car.
All right. Now, describe, you already stood up, so I was going to ask you to stand up and describe what you saw. He had a pistol in which hand?
Right in.
Okay. And how was he holding it when he came out of the car?
Just like that.
All right.
Just
Pointing
like
it, you're holding your arm out parallel to
Yes.
the ground?
Just like that.
All right. And what happened?
He walks over to the driver's side of the car,
Which car?
the police car,
Yes, sir.
and he shoots through the car.
And so you saw the first shot, you believe, hit the car?
Well, it hit the car, and it went into the driver's area.
Okay. All right. You can sit back down again.
Okay.
You're like me, you have to stand to talk, right?
Sometimes.
Okay. That's fine, Mr. Larson. So the shot was, the first shot was fired, and you believe it went through the back of the police car and into the passenger area of the car?
I think it went into the police officer.
And what was the police officer doing as that first shot was being fired?
Nothing.
Okay.
He just stopped.
All right. What did he stop doing is what I'm asking.
Everything. He just laid over to the side and stayed there.
Okay. And what was he doing prior to that? You started to tell us, and I think I interrupted you before.
Well, it's a safe way to pull somebody over if the cop is behind the car.
I'm going to object to that. I'll sustain the objection.
All I'm asking, Mr. Clark, is what you actually saw. You saw him doing some motions with his hands?
Yes.
Help us understand what you saw.
He was opening the door.
Okay.
He was putting the car in reverse, and he was opening the door at the same time.
And then what did you see him trying to do?
Nothing.
It was over that fast?
Yes.
Okay. So you saw him doing something within the car to look like with the gear shift and
Yes.
the door?
Yeah, seat belt, the normal thing, get out of a car, get behind the guy.
Did you see him ever get out of the car?
No.
All right. What was the next thing you saw after you described the officer trying to get out of the car, you described the first shot from the defendant. What was the next thing that you saw the defendant do? First shot and then what?
He walked over to the open door and shot 3 times into the police officer's chest area.
Okay.
At least 3 times.
Now let me ask you about that. You said walked over. Was he moving quickly or
Oh,
slowly?
really quickly. Everything was quickly.
And as he moved quickly towards the police car, what did he do?
Had his gun up.
Okay. And then you said he fired at least how many shots?
At least 3 times into the police officer. And then he ran back to his car and took off.
All right. Now, as the first shot was fired, you said you saw the defendant getting out of the car, holding the gun. Describe the gun to the members of the jury.
Big pistol. Good size. I don't know if it was a 45, or maybe it's a little smaller, but a good size pistol. Good size.
And it was dark color?
Yes.
Okay. Dark colored pistol, and he had it in his right hand. What did you do after the first shot was fired? What did you do personally?
I took off running.
Okay. Now, you described a lot of events that happened after that, but you said you're running. Why is it that you were able to see what was going on as you were running?
I was standing still when I saw the first shot. And as he was walking over to the driver's compartment with the open door, that's when I started running.
And did you keep your eye on the door?
Oh, I did. I kept my eye. I was in the military one time. If you don't know who the enemy is, you're no good. You gotta know. I knew where he was standing.
What good does it do you to duck if you don't know where the person shooting is, right?
That's right.
Okay, so you looked, do you remember if it was over your left shoulder or over your right shoulder as you ran?
Oh, he was there.
Okay, so you're looking over your left shoulder, you're going towards where?
The bush.
Okay, there's the bushy area there in the
Yes.
left. Okay, so you ran to that. Once you got back to that spot, you're looking over your shoulder. Once you got back to that spot, were you able to get behind the bush?
Yeah.
Okay. When you said you saw him shoot at least 3 times into Sergeant Morales,
Yes.
what did you do when he stopped shooting?
Ducked.
Because his attention, you were afraid was going to turn to you?
I don't know. I never asked him.
Speculation.
Same.
Since I'm asking for his state of mind, is what he
I will rule objection. Okay, I understand. I will not.
So you were concerned, you're not saying his attention did turn to you, you were worried it might?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were concerned about that, that's when you ducked?
Absolutely.
All right. So you ducked down behind the bush?
Yes.
All right. What was the next thing that you perceived after you were behind the bush?
He took off, and the police officer's buddy showed up with his car, and he stopped in the same spot where that red car was parked. And I stuck my hands up, because I didn't want that officer to think I had anything to do with it, and I ain't got no gun, you know, I'm just doing yard work here. I put my hands up, so that's what that officer saw, me standing by that bush with my hands straight up in the air.
Okay, I'm going to show you some photographs here. Some of them, let me check my list here, make sure that they're all already in evidence before I have you step down. All right. Judge, we're going to publish some photographs with the witnesses. If it's all right with the court.
Yes, sir. Just make sure you identify which ones you're listening to.
We're going to start first with State 6. If you can step down. You can stand right here and we get the lights so that you can see a little better. Thank you, David. All right. Here in State Exhibit 6, you recognize what's depicted in that photograph. You recognize that?
Yeah, that's the car he was driving.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to State Exhibit 13. Okay, looking at this area, can you tell the members of the jury what's depicted here in State 13?
Well, this is the backyard.
Okay. All right, great. Now, so that they understand, you mentioned a couple of times that you had a pickup truck parked in the yard as well.
There it is.
And that's where you had the lawn equipment?
Yes.
All right. Now, if you were working in the yard, you drove the truck around to the backyard with the lawn equipment in the back?
Yes, we had to. This gate right here was locked. We couldn't drive through the yard out there, so we just drove around the block to the third part. And I was right in this here area right here.
All right, and who else was out there with you?
Albert Crime.
Okay, and was he in the same area?
Yeah, we were just walking around, picking up paper, and we were just in that area right there. Sitting around there.
Where was the red car when you first saw it?
Really, right there with the first cop car.
Right where it was coming to a stop?
And the second cop car. Yeah, right there where he stopped. He stopped at the same spot.
And the deputy, the car that you saw come to a stop in front of him, is it still there in the same spot depicted in the photograph?
Yeah.
Okay, and could you point to it for us?
Right there.
Okay, with both car doors open when this picture.
Yeah, this is the officer officer got shot in. This is the officer, the second officer pulled in.
Okay, and the officer in the car that's on our right, slightly tilted, you never saw him get out of the car?
No.
Did you ever see anything that indicated to you that he had tried to get out of the car?
Yeah, he's got to open the door.
Okay, and then what about, did you ever see him get any part of his body out of the car?
No, never. There's no footprints.
Well,
all those shells are laying on the ground. There's no footprints down there.
And did you ever see the officer in that car shoot or do anything to be able to defend himself?
No.
Now, after the first shot was fired, you said you ran to an area where you were able to get behind the bush.
That's right.
Okay.
Where was that? It's right on the other side of that tree. There's a bush there.
Okay.
This is one part of it, and there's the other part of it, but this tree's kind of hiding it a little bit.
All right. I want to show you. State's Exhibit 16, please.
There you go.
The backyard.
Yeah, there's a bush right there. That's where I was hiding.
Okay. And if we could get Mr. Backo to zoom in on that bush area just a little bit, please.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Albert shoved the lawnmower while he was cutting the grass. He pushed it in the bush there, and that's why I jumped right here. If you can notice, it's just a little opening there.
Now, as you were in that area, you said that's where you saw him shoot into.
I was standing here when I saw the first shot, and then the other shots I was in there.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 18. And is that a different view of the same set of bushes?
Yes, that's the same set, and this is really where the red car was parked. That officer parked there, and I was right there.
And now going on to State's 20. You see the car with the doors open. Is that the deputy's car who was shot?
Yeah, and here's the first shot right here.
And so you pointed to a mark on the car, and now that's been zoomed in. Is that it there?
That's it.
And could you describe for us where the defendant was standing as he fired the shots into the car?
Right in that area right there.
So just outside the open door?
Yeah, that's where the shells dropped.
All right, thank you. You can return to your seat. No other questions?
Thank you. Mr. Blinn?
Morning, Squawk. Good morning.
Let me take you back to right when you were working in the yard, okay?
Okay.
I think you testified the first thing that got your attention was the revving or the noise of the engine.
What?
The first thing that got your attention was the revving or the noise of the car engine. Is that true?
I can't say the roar of the car, but I can say that the cars are coming very quickly. And you censored that, and I could hear sirens from his buddy's car coming.
Okay. Now let's back up and diagnose that a minute. Did you see the car before you heard?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I heard the car before I saw it.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Now, you mentioned to us that the road is gravel.
Yes, very loose.
Loose gravel. You standing in the yard with Mr. Cranajak. Albert Cranajak is there with you.
Albert Cranajak.
You hear the engine and you look down the street.
No.
You don't look down the street?
No, we're picking up paper. And the car just came right by our red truck and stopped.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, you're picking up paper. Tell me, what did Albert do?
He was picking up paper too.
Okay. All right. You see the red car come to a stop.
Right?
Now, before the red car comes to a stop, you notice the police car on the left side of the red car.
Right.
Okay. The red car then immediately slammed on the brakes.
Well, he was already stopped. The red car was already stopped, and then the police car comes sliding by. And he was trying to stop.
I'm with you, but we're going a little too fast. Let's back up. Before the red car comes to a stop, the police car is on the left side of the red car.
No.
No.
No. The red car stops, the police car is like a house down hit, and then he hits the brakes and comes to a slip.
Okay. Now, both cars come to a stop, right?
Eventually, yeah.
And the police car is angled in front of a red car. It's still with that red.
That's his stopping position.
Yes. So it was actually a little bit in front of the red car. The stop position.
Absolutely. Yes, he was. He was trying to back up.
Now, the red car backed up as well?
No, red car just stood right where it was staying.
You didn't see the red car back up?
Nope.
Okay. Now, you testified that the door opened to the red car. The door of the red car opened.
Yes, the driver of the red car had to get out of the car, and he opened up the door to get up.
Okay. Now, at the time the door of the red car opened,
Yes.
the door of the police car opened also.
Pretty close. Yes, really close.
Because the police car came to a stop a little bit after the red car, so they both opened the door pretty close, but the red car would be closed.
Yes.
Now, you told us you saw a man get out of the red car,
Yeah.
and you told us the gentleman didn't hear. Yes or no? You told us this is the gentleman you saw get out of the red car.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you agree with me that the last time you saw this gentleman was on February 28th, 2013?
Yes.
Okay. And approximately 2.5 years ago?
Right.
Okay. And you've never seen the gentleman before or after that day?
No.
Okay. Now, just I'm curious, you're certain that this is the same gentleman you saw? Just tell me, just humor me, is there anything different about him today?
His hair is a little different. He had a couple of those little pigtails. It was knots in their hair. He had some of them like that there. He didn't have a suit on.
Do you remember what he had on?
What?
Do you remember what he had on?
White shirt.
Anything else?
T-shirt. Well, shorts, camouflage, military clothes, you know.
Anything else?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Now, you said the door of the red car opened. You watched a gentleman come around to the back of a police car.
Yes.
And you told us that he fired a shot that hit the panel of the back of the police car.
Right.
And then you told us he fired more shots.
Right.
He moved slightly aside, closer to the door, and then fired more shots.
Right.
Now, just so we're clear, the motion of coming from the red car to the police car is very quick.
Yes.
Almost running.
Yes.
Once he stopped firing, he equally quick goes back to the red car.
Right.
Almost running.
Almost.
Gets back in the red car
Yes.
and takes off.
Right.
Okay. Now, prior to getting into the red car, did you see that gentleman stop running?
Did I see that gentleman stop running?
Did you see him stop running before he got in the red car?
Well, he had to open the door. No, I think his door was open. I don't know.
So he ran from the driver's side of a police car
That's right.
straight back to the red car non-stop.
And took off.
Now, I want to ask you a question about that running motion from the driver's side of a police car. He ran with his arm outstretched, didn't he?
When he was coming to the police car or when he was running back to his red car?
Running back to the red car.
You know, I ducked after that. And when he was coming back, I ducked.
So you did not see everything.
I saw the officer get shot.
Okay.
And I saw him coming back to his car, and at that time I lowered my head in the bush pile because my common sense said, this is a good time to duck.
Okay.
And then and then he took off, and his buddy, the police officer's buddy, come and stopped his car almost in the exact same spot.
Okay.
Then I had my hands up, and then I saw the police car get out of the car.
Okay. That's exactly the point I wanted to highlight. While you're ducked behind that bush pile,
Yes.
you're still watching the gentleman run back to the red car.
Why I'm ducking, yes.
You're still looking at him, right?
A little bit, not really, you know. The shooting is over,
I understand.
and he's running for his life.
Okay, fair enough. Now, while he's running for his life, you also had the gun in his hand.
Absolutely.
And he had his arm thrust out as he's running back to the red car.
He might have.
Okay. Not sure.
That's my personal opinion. He might have had his hand here, or had his hand like that.
Okay.
What does that matter?
Well, to you it doesn't. I'm asking you a question.
No.
Was his hand out when he was running back to the red car? That's my question, yes or no?
I can't answer.
Okay, you don't know.
I don't know.
But you do know that you saw him run from the driver's side of the police car, non-stop back to his red car.
Right.
Jump in the red car
And go away.
and take off.
Yes.
asked you to estimate, would you agree with me that it took probably less than a minute?
Or it would take more than I would say a minute and a half.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it would, maybe 2 minutes, you know, car, you gotta stop, you gotta shoot, you gotta run back in your car, you gotta take off, maybe a minute, minute and a half, 2.
You make a valid point. You're not sure of the amount of time.
I wasn't watching my watch.
Of course. But let me ask you this. You initially said a minute and a half was your first thought, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
State that, do you redirect?
No, sir.
Or is he released, or do y'all need him to stay?
You may be released.
Okay, with the defense to release him?
Yes, sir, you can be released.
Thank you, sir, very much. You're free to go if you wish. You're welcome to stay, of course, if you wish. Just watch stepping down for me.
Thank you, sir. You're right.
I understand one or more of y'all have to use the restroom, so let me have all y'all step in. We'll bring you right back out and play Mr. Kranick's testimony. Jackie, if you can give Albert Kranick's testimony. I'm going to use the restroom.